Imagine this. You've just lost your family pet. You are desperate, you're heartbroken, and you post a missing poster on a local neighborhood community forum. You're just waiting and praying for a call. And a few hours later, your phone actually buzzes. A stranger says they have your dog, but before they hand him over, they claim they need to make absolutely sure that you're the real owner and not some internet scammer. They tell you they're sending a 6-digit verification code to your phone, and you just need to read it back to them to prove who you are. Now, you are so incredibly relieved in this moment, you don't even think twice. You read the code. But listen to me carefully. There is no dog. There never was. In that single moment of brilliant emotional manipulation, you didn't prove your identity. You just handed a criminal the literal keys to bypass a massive security wall using your personal phone number. You've just fallen into a highly coordinated trap that the Federal Trade Commission has been tracking since 2021. And I need you to understand something right now. This could happen to you today. Look at this quote from a real victim. This is Sarah Kenny Werner posting on the official Google Voice community forum. She wrote, "Hi, I've been scammed like an absolute idiot. On Facebook Marketplace, a scammer sent me a Google Voice code to verify that I was a real person. I want to be very clear about something. Sarah is not an idiot. She was manipulated by professionals, and her story is echoing across the country right now, happening to thousands of people who just want to buy a couch or find a pet. Welcome to the Fraud Files, where we expose real scams and protect Americans like you. Today's case file is absolutely crucial. This explainer could save you thousands of dollars, endless frustration, and help secure your digital identity from invisible predators. Let's get right into it." Section 1. The 6-digit trap. How a simple verification text turns into digital theft. Okay, let's really dive into this. To understand exactly how scammers are weaponizing a simple text message against you, we first have to understand the battlefield. The FTC and cybersecurity experts have actually been sounding the alarm on this specific manipulation for years, yet it remains completely unknown to the general public. It's called the Google Voice Verification Code scam. And who does it target? Well, it targets literally anyone participating in the modern digital economy. Whether you're selling furniture on Craigslist, looking for romance on dating apps like Tinder or Bumble, searching for a job, or just trying to find that lost pet, if you are communicating with strangers online, you are in their crosshairs. But before we look at the trap itself, we need to demystify the technology they're exploiting. What exactly is Google Voice? Simply put, it's a totally legitimate telephone service offered by Google. It uses VoIP technology, which stands for Voice over Internet Protocol, that basically just means it allows users to make calls and send texts over the internet instead of through a traditional cell tower. It provides a private, US-based phone number. But here is the absolutely critical catch. To sign up for a free Google Voice account, Google's security system requires you to link a real, traditional phone number to prove you're an actual living human being. Google sends a one-time 6-digit verification code to that real phone number to activate the new account. And this brilliantly illustrates the core deception of the entire scam, what you think is happening versus what's actually happening. In your view of the situation, you think you're just participating in a standard, modern security check. You think, hey, I'm just proving I am a real person so we can do business safely. But the scammer's view is completely different. They aren't verifying your identity at all. While they're texting you, they are actively sitting on the Google Voice sign-up page, typing in your phone number to request an activation code from Google. When you hand that code over to them in the chat, you are secretly approving the creation of an untraceable burner line on their behalf. You're giving them the green light.
Section 2. How the scam works. A step-by-step breakdown of the manipulation. Let's move on.
The mechanics of this fraud are incredibly precise. And here's the thing, scammers don't just rely on technology to win, they rely on social engineering. They prey on your natural desire to be helpful, your need to complete a transaction, or your deep emotional vulnerabilities. Let's break down exactly what they do, step by step, so you know exactly what it feels like when it happens to you. Step 1. The scammer makes contact. Maybe you listed a dining table online, or maybe you're talking to a recruiter for a really great new job opportunity. They reach out and express high interest. They're excited. But then comes step 2, the hesitation. They suddenly introduce a plausible reason to verify you. They might claim they've been ripped off by fake listings before or that it's standard company procedure for a background check. They tell you they're sending a code. Now remember, at that exact moment, they are actually typing your phone number into Google's system. Step 3, your phone chimes. You look at the code and you type it right back into the chat to reassure them. And boom, the trap snaps shut. But I want you to look really closely at the actual text message you receive from Google, because Google isn't hiding the danger here. The text message explicitly, literally states, if someone requests this code, it is a scam, don't share it with anyone else. It is right there in black and white. So you have to ask, why do so many smart, capable people fall for it? It's because the scammer has already primed you. They've built trust, or they've created an intense sense of urgency. In romance scams, for example, they might have spent weeks building an emotional connection with you before suddenly claiming they need to make sure you aren't a catfish. The psychological pressure of the moment causes you to completely blind yourself to the very warning designed to save you. You just read the numbers and ignore the words.
So the absolutely crucial point is this. By sharing that specific 6-digit code, you are unknowingly giving the fraudster exactly what they need to bypass Google's security protocols. You are essentially taking your own digital fingerprint and stamping it directly on their application for a criminal burner phone. Let's be clear, the verification code is only legitimate when you initiated the sign-up yourself on the official Google platform. If someone else asks you to repeat it back to them, the system is being actively maliciously misused.
Section 3, the scammer's true goal. Why they want these numbers in the first place.
Now, you might be sitting there asking yourself, why go through all this trouble, right? Why don't the scammers just use their own phone numbers to call people? Well, we need to look at why your specific phone number is so incredibly valuable to a criminal syndicate that's likely sitting thousands of miles away. What do they actually intend to do with this digital real estate you just bought for them? According to cybersecurity experts at ExpressVPN, most scammers don't have access to clean, unused U.S. phone numbers. They burn through numbers constantly because they get reported, flagged, and shut down. By hijacking your verification process, they get a fresh, free Google Voice number. It appears as a totally legitimate US-based number, which means it won't trigger spam filters or suspicion when they target other Americans for even worse scams. It requires no physical SIM card, no carrier contract with AT&T or Verizon, and no extensive identity check. It is highly, highly untraceable. And because they can run this trick on hundreds of people a day, they can create these burner numbers incredibly quickly at scale to fuel massive phishing, smishing, and robocall operations across the entire country. You are giving them their weapons.
Once they have your code, let's map out the immediate technical timeline of what happens behind the scenes. First, they link. Your personal number is entered into their fake account. Second, they activate. The 6-digit code you provided is used to authorize the new Google Voice account. But the third step, this is the most insidious part. They unlink. Almost immediately after the account is created, the scammer goes into the account settings and actively removes your real phone number as the forwarding line. Why would they do that? Because they don't want you answering your phone when they start making fraudulent calls to their next victims. They sever the tie completely, disappearing into the digital ether with a brand new weapon and leaving you completely in the dark. Okay, time for an honest reality check. Are these scammers getting caught by the authorities? It's incredibly difficult because they conceal their real identities behind these VoIP numbers. Tracking them down is a massive, frustrating challenge for law enforcement agencies like the FBI. But there is a silver lining for you if you happen to be the victim of this specific trick. If you fell for this, you need to know what did and did not happen. The scammer did not hack your mobile device. They cannot suddenly read your private text messages. They absolutely do not have access to your bank account, your credit cards, or your personal Google account. However, your phone number's one-time ticket to create a Google Voice account is permanently burned. You will likely never be able to use your own personal number to set up your own Google Voice account in the future. Also, the scammer might try to sell the account they just made using your number on the dark web or sites like eBay to other bad actors.
Section 4, Spotting the Red Flags. When to stop texting and walk away.
Now that you know the anatomy of the trap, we really need to focus on defense, because the best way to survive in this digital landscape is to see the threat before it ever strikes. Bad actors are becoming highly sophisticated, often masquerading as tech support for companies like Google or even your bank. Listen to me. I want you to pull out your phone and take a screenshot of this exact explainer slide right now. Keep it saved in your photos. Here are 6 glaring red flags from top cybersecurity professionals. 1. Anyone, anywhere, asking for a verification code for any reason. Full stop. 2. Strangers aggressively applying pressure on you to verify your identity. 3. The deeply ironic claim that you must prove you aren't a scammer. They love using that one. 4. Casual mentions of sending a code just to check that you're real. 5. Receiving completely unexpected verification texts from Google when you aren't even trying to log in or sign up for anything. And 6. A rapid, unnatural shift from normal conversation, like chatting about buying a couch, straight into urgent identity checks. If you see these, you are talking to a criminal.
Honestly, if you only remember one single thing from today's case file, make it this exact quote from the telecom security experts at TNS Call Guardian. No legitimate service will ask you to share verification codes with them. It really is that simple. Not your bank, not a friendly buyer on Craigslist, not a corporate recruiter, not a police officer, and certainly not a romantic interest you just met online. If they ask for the code, it is a scam every single time. No exceptions to this rule, ever. Section 5, Damage Control and Protection. What to do if they already have your code. But what if you're watching this right now and you get a sinking feeling in your stomach because you realize you've already sent the code? Maybe it happened 10 minutes ago, maybe it was last week. First, I need you to take a deep breath. We are going to go through the exact damage control protocol together. You need to take immediate action to sever any remaining ties between your phone number and the scammer's operation and completely lock down your digital life. Here is the exact recovery process recommended by Google Voice community experts. Step 1. Do not panic. Like we covered, your device is not hacked and your bank details are totally safe. Step 2. Open your web browser on your phone or computer and go directly to voice.google.com/regain. Step 3. Enter the phone number that the scammer targeted. Google will then send you a brand new 6-digit verification code. When you enter this new code on the Regain page, it essentially proves to the system that you are the actual current owner of the phone number. Google's system will then automatically, forcefully detach your number from the scammer's fraudulent account. You absolutely must do this to ensure your number isn't left attached as a forwarding line for their illegal activities. Beyond reclaiming your number, you must build up your secondary defenses. Protect yourself by reporting the scam immediately to the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov and to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center at i3.gov. Don't assume someone else will do it. Next, go right back to the marketplace or dating app where the conversation actually started and report the scammer's profile so the platform can ban them and protect the next victim. Turn on two-factor authentication, or 2FA, for all of your sensitive online accounts: email, banking, social media. And finally, just keep a really close eye on your call logs and your bank statements over the next few weeks, just to be absolutely certain no further fraudulent activity is taking place. To sum this all up, the Federal Trade Commission's golden rule is your absolute ultimate shield against this attack factor. Never ever share a verification code you didn't request yourself. If you are sitting there logging into your own bank, and the bank texts you a code to type into their official website, that's completely safe. But if someone else triggers the code remotely and asks you to read it back to them in a text message or over the phone, it's a scam every time. You literally have to treat these codes like the PIN to your debit card. Keep them entirely to yourself. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. The digital world is full of invisible predators using our basic human trust against us. The next time a stranger asks you to prove who you are online, will you really know who you're talking to? Stop, think, and guard your codes. Please share this explainer right now with your family and friends to protect them from falling into this 6-digit trap. Subscribe to the Fraud Files for daily scam alerts. Comment below if this happened to you or someone you know. Stay alert, stay safe. The fraudsters are watching. But now, so are we.